If you've never played slide before, there's a couple of things we want to look at before we get started playing this song. First is what kind of slide to use. There's a lot of slides in the world. They're all pretty fun to play with. The one I'm using is a chrome-plated nickel slide, I believe, or steel slide. Not too thick, not too thin, not too big. It's a good middle-of-the-road, durable slide. I recommend one of these, but anything will work. Glass, porcelain. I've even used batteries if I want to be a little bit funny. You can put the slide on just about any finger. It could go on middle finger, that's what Bonnie Raitt does, ring finger, or pinky, which is kind of an old school blues style way of doing it. Again, the most normal, easiest to get started way to do it is just drop it on that ring finger there. A couple of things I'd like to say though. Do not jam the slide onto your finger until it gets stuck. It will get stuck, and that will be a problem. I also don't recommend dropping the slide till it goes all the way down to this knuckle here, because that forces you to get the slide on the strings a slightly awkward angle for your hand. My hand wants to do this. I can just put the slide on like that and have a good time. Now notice, I'm using these two fingers behind the slide and this finger on the slide here to stabilize it. I can turn my hand upside down and I won't lose this slide, and that's really helpful for moving around. Sometimes, you know, when teaching slide, I'll see my students do things like this, and we don't want to do that. That's out of control. That's kind of frantic looking. So we get that mitt going. So we got our hand is ready to play some slide. Next thing to look at is, when I aim for a note with my slide, I don't aim for where I would normally play. When I put my pointer finger down, I put it in the middle of the fret. And that gets a nice C. But if I put my slide there, it's out of tune. We don't want to do that. We actually aim for the metal lines themselves, because that's where the notes live. So that's a bit about left hand. Not too heavy slide, goes on ring finger. I don't jam it on. I have a mitt, so I have good control of my hand. I'm aiming for the metal lines. With the right hand here, playing with fingers is really great, and I like to do that. But again, for getting started, if you're used to playing with a pick, you can play with a pick. One thing to try and do though is to get used to keeping your hand down on the strings. Slides are inherently noisy. And to help cut back on that sound, we try and keep our hand down on the strings. In fact, I'm going to turn my tone down a little bit. Now notice I have these two fingers sitting on these strings. My thumb is actually flat across those. And for this song, which is on the G string, my pick is on the ready on the G string. So I can hit the strings, I can slide around with minimal noise that I don't want. So now let's look at actually playing this piece. Great little solo. It's going to start at the 5th fret. 5 goes up to 7. 7 goes up to 9. Back to 7. Up to 10, another 10, 4 to 5. So that's 5, 5, 7, 9, 7, 9, 10, 10, 4, 5. The second solo in the song is a similar idea but starts higher. That's going to start at 7. 7 to 9. 9 to 12. 12 to 10. 12 to 14. 12. 7 to 9. Here it is again. 7 to 9. 9 to 12. 12 to 10, 12 to 14, 12, 7 to 9.